Hello everyone. I am excited to be here for day 3 of 30 for sewing zippers. Real quick, I'm going to do my shares. And if you're not watching this live, if you're watching it later, you should be able to click below and just skip ahead a little bit to when I get past the sharing. But when I do it live, I like to give it a few minutes for everybody to tune in so that we can all do the project together. So I'm going to share real quick. And while I do that, I'd love for you to tell me where you are, what you're doing, if you have any plans this holiday weekend. I know everybody's probably busy, so I don't know how many people we'll have today on a Sunday morning and a holiday weekend, but I said I'm doing 30, so I'm doing 30, and hopefully you can come back to this another time if you don't get to watch it right now. So let's see, let me just share it. Get it shared, and then we will get moving. So this weekend we had a soccer game, a college soccer game last night that we went to, and then we're just, I don't know, we might hit up some furniture stores today. We're just kind of being lazy and yeah, not doing anything too exciting this weekend, just kind of hanging out. So today for our project, sorry, we're gonna work on sewing a lining. So I'm putting together a let me just make sure I got all these shared to the right places. Yes, and yes. Okay, so we're all shared up and we're ready to go. So I'm putting I'm going to put together a post on my blog so that you can find all of the videos that we've done so far, because I'm just going to build on what we've done. I'm not going to do the same as what we did yesterday. So yesterday what we worked on was adding these little fabric tabs, and I'll come back at the end and give you the link to that post so that you can find all the other pages. We added the tabs. Adding the fabric tabs is what we worked on yesterday. So I've already done that for today. And the zipper, I've cut the zipper down. The actual zipper portion is 7 inches, and I've got my 2 tabs on the end. So 7 inch for this, from the metal point to where the pole will go, and then there's just about a little bit, what's that, 1/2 inch on either side. Hi Barbara, thanks for being here. So 1/2 inch on either side, plus the 7 inch zipper. So it's about 8 inches I've cut the zipper to. And then I've got my fabric. We're working with kids fabric today because I'm going to try and make a bunch of pouches for the Ronald McDonald House. So we're doing kids stuff. Back to kids stuff today. So I've got just these 2, which I've cut to 8.5 inches squared. So, and when you're making a zip, something like this, we'll lose 1/2 inch, so it'll be an 8-inch square finished pouch. So we've got those 2 cut to 8.5 inches, and then 2 lining pieces also cut to 8.5 inches. So I've got 4 squares that are 8.5 inches. You can really do this with any size, as long as all the measurements are adding up. So let's go ahead and get started then. So let's get cracking. I'm gonna put my zipper foot on. Let me turn in just a bit so you can see here. Okay. There we go. I'm going to put on my zipper foot, and like I said in the previous videos, the zipper foot, I like to put it, the way I put it, is I put the needle to the left, and the foot is to the right. It might be mirrored on your guys's, so it might not look exactly like I'm saying, but that's what I do. We're going to, same as we've done in the past few days, we're going to line up our zipper on the fabric, right in the middle. And we want to make sure that the zipper lines up with the top of the fabric. I'm just making a zipper pouch, Lisa, and I'm going to make a lined zipper pouch. So we've been working with zippers all week, and today we're adding a lining with the zipper. We've only done pouches without a lining, so today we're going to add a lining so you can see how to add a lining with the zipper. It's really not that much harder, but it can be confusing if you haven't done it. So zipper goes up at the top of our fabric. And then we're going to get started. Okay. And then when you get to it, you just pull the foot up and pull the tab to the end. Sorry, I'm kind of whipping through this part so that you guys can see the next step. So we've got our zipper attached. It'll look like this if you turn it out, but we're not ready to turn it out. The next step, what we're going to do is you're going to take your lining fabric, and so we'll put this piece face down. The red bits at the end actually are they're just some tabs we put on the end of the zipper to make it look really nice when the pouch is finished. If you watched yesterday, I did a big comparison and you could see the difference in what the pouch looked like with the tabs and what without it. So luckily our lining is either way, but you're going to put it right side down. If this, let's pretend this was the pattern on this side, it would go down onto the zipper, onto the back of the zipper. So the zipper is facing down and it's attached to our fabric. The right side of this fabric is up. We're going to place this right side down and line it up with the top of the zipper, just the same, and make sure, line it up with the fabric below too so that the edges meet. And use our clips. I love clips for this because, I'll show you, because we don't actually sew on this side. It's a little tricky trick. So we're going to clip it on. Use as few or as many as you like. So we've got it clipped so it lines up. And then you're going to flip it over and you're going to use this, just sew along the seam you already made. That way you can see. If you try and sew here, you can't see. You have no idea where the zipper is. So that's just confusing, right? So if you flip it over, we're going to sew along this that we've already sewed. That'll make sure we don't sew on the zipper and we're sewing it exactly where the other one was sewn. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And the clips are nice for that because they come on either side. If you pin on the other side, then you have to... Why are you mad? Hold on. My fish is getting angry for some reason. Okay. While I'm here, I'm going to pull my tab down and out of the way. There we go. Okay, there we go. My machine is acting crazy. Okay, there we go. Okay, so, sorry, you can see my machine got cranky right there. So you see we've sewn along the seam that we just created. And now, when you flip it out, this is what it will look like. You'll have your zipper on the front, and when you turn it around, you have it on the back as well. It's all ready to go. Isn't that fantastic? Now, we're going to just do like we always do and top stitch. You guys, my machine is acting crazy. Okay, we're going to do like we do and just top stitch along the edge of the zipper. If my machine will let me. It's gotten over itself. And I'm just kind of pulling the fabric, making sure the red is not caught or tangled, kind of flattening everything out as I go. You could press this down first if you are worried about it getting bunched underneath here. But we didn't have that problem. So here's what we've got. It's sewn in the back and we've got it nice and down in the front, and we're ready to do the other side. So for the other side, it's the exact same thing. Don't get intimidated because you have this other side on there. It's the exact same. I'm just going to trim up my you can turn on while I'm thinking about it, you can turn on notifications so you can find us every day. We're going to be live every day this month doing something with zippers. I've got lots of requests and what people want to learn how to make, but if you have any, go ahead and share them in the comments and I will try and get to everything that I can. You can turn on notifications down below in this post. You can share this to your wall so you'll be able to find it later. so it doesn't get lost. And like I said, I'm going to make a post. I'll make a blog post with all the videos so you can go back and follow along with all of them if you want to. So next step, we've got our everything lined up. We're going to put our zipper down. The zipper is right side up. This fabric that we already have is right side up. We're going to put our fabric right side. This is the right side. I can see that. Right side down. And again, we're using this fabric that we've already got. Could you sew the two pieces at the same time? You could probably do it at the same time, but it would be, I prefer this method so I have more control. I like to make sure every step is nice. So put the fabric right side down onto the zipper, lining the zipper up on the top like we did, the same way we did before, and use your piece below to really line up where you're at. So, I mean, what I mean is if you had it here, you'd know, oh, I'm not lined up. So make sure that you line it up with this piece and the top. It really gives us two straight edges to line up with, which is nice. I'm just going to pin this on or clip it on, and then we're ready to sew this one on the same way we've been doing. The other reason I like these little tabs is it gives you somewhere to start, so you're not starting at the edge of the zipper and you could get caught. I'm making a zipper pouch. This is a lined zipper pouch. We're going to be filling them up with stuff and donating them to the Ronald McDonald House. Then when I come to my pole, not even when I come to it, a little bit before we come to it, we're going to stop. This part is always, it's trickier when you have a couple layers. So we're going to pull the tab. See, I've pulled the tab up here out of my way. And now I'm ready to keep going. Don't forget to put this down. I used to do that all the time when I started sewing, is I would forget to put that down, and I would ruin so many projects. Okay, so now we've got that guy. That guy's ready. Attached. A little glue. That's a fun idea. Okay, so then the next step is to take our other lining piece, and it's going to be, so we've got this is the side of the zipper we're working with, right? We've got this one lined up. We're going to take our lining, put it right side down. If you have a lining that has a pattern, it's right side down onto the top of the zipper. Pin it in place again. Let me just really quick. Come on, where is it? I'm going to open my zipper up a little bit. I don't like starting with it at the end. Okay. Okay. We're going to pin it in place or clip it. I say pin, but I really just clip everything. Clip it in place. And then we're going to use the seam we've already sewn to sew over as a guide for where we're going to sew. Already at my pole, which with all this fabric is hard to find. Let's see. Let's pull this out of the way. Okay. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to get it completely. You can see I mean I'm not exactly on my line. Maybe if it'll focus. I'm mostly on my line, but not exactly on my line, which is fine. It's not a huge deal. So now when we open it up, remember we're going to want to top stitch, but when we open it up, this is what we'll have. We'll have it like this. It looks like this, and on the inside, it looks like this. Okay? So let's top stitch really quick, and then I can show you. We're pretty close to done. So I'm going to top stitch here. Remember, we're pulling, make sure everything's out of the way. We're just going to pull this tight here. So close to our got that all in there. We've got both sides top stitched. They're flat. They're not going to get caught in the zippers. The next step, second to last step, well, now you can trim these because you know where your fabric's going to lie. So we're going to just trim our little tabs off like that. Come on. Okay. Now, the next step, you're going to take your two outside pieces and you're going to clip them together or pin them together around the 4 sides. Or 3 sides, I guess. You're not going to pin the side that's on the zipper. When I come to my zipper, so, okay, this part is personal preference, but when I come to my zipper, I want it to be up, so I'm going to just hold it up while I pin. I'm going to fold it, I mean. Can you see how I've done that? Just fold it a little bit so that it'll be kind of raised when the zipper is, done. The pouch is going to be about 8 inches square. We're making a square, an 8-inch square pouch. So I'm just going to hold that in place that I've just done. Make sure that your zipper is open so that you can turn your piece out when it comes time. I'm going to turn this around and do the same thing. I'm going to just push this kind of, it wants to lie somewhere because see how it's raised, so it wants to go somewhere. It's either going to go in or out. I like to push it out. And then I'm going to clip that in place. You can actually, it's a good idea to actually start there because it'll change where these fall. But it hasn't been a huge issue in this one. So use as many clips as you'd like, really. Okay, then we've got our lining piece. We're going to do the same thing and line it up, all 4 sides. But I want you to mark. Hi, Lillian. Nice to see you. I want you to mark down here. This is our bottom. This is going to be the very bottom of the bag inside. We're going to mark, just put 2 pins, or you can pin it or clip it. Sorry, that's driving me nuts. Like this. This we're not going to sew here in between these. Maybe let's make it a little bigger. I recommend, there, that's better. You want to have enough room to turn it out. So you're going to pin it right like there. You're not going to sew here. And then you will sew around the rest. So let's just stick 1 or 2 clips in here. Like so. And now we're ready. We're going to ditch the zipper foot. We're back to our 1/4 inch foot. And we're ready to go. So we've marked this spot as where we're not going to sew. So we're going to start here on the corner and go all the way around, all 4 sides. Okay? I'm just using a 1/4 inch, a generous 1/4 inch. I like to have a little bit of extra space. We're all set. Lisa, yes, it was right sides together. So this is the wrong side of all of this is the wrong side of my fabric. So now you can see, and sometimes it gets a little wonky, like we had a little bit, but that's okay. This is the lining. It's not a huge issue. You're not actually even going to really see it. I mean, so we've got them, we've sewn around all 4, but we left ourselves a big spot to get in. So you're just going to stick your hand in and pull everything out. Okay. Now, if you have some people have a special tool for turning things out. I just use my scissors or a pen or my finger. So, I wouldn't recommend using your scissors open because they can, you don't want to pierce through your fabric, but I've just got it closed. And I'm being gentle. I'm not like going to town on it. So, let's turn it out. And then right here, you're going to want to do, right here you can push, just give yourself a little push as well. I didn't do, my tabs aren't as big as they were in our pouch yesterday, so there's not as much red showing, but it's fine. We just want it to be a clean spot. Okay. Clean corner. So then, this is what our pouch on the outside looks like. And we've got this, we've still got this guy. So turn it out, but don't stuff it in yet. Chopsticks are very good. Pencils, like a mechanical pencil with the lead in works fine. So the last step, now we've got this guy. We've got our spot open. And normally I would go and press this. So press it down. And if you kind of just pull, let's see, sorry, like this, you can see that gives us a flat spot. And then just clip that. I would press it in place and it'll stay. You don't even have to clip it once you press it. But I'm not going to get up and walk away from you guys because you're my friends. It's rude to walk away, right? So you're just going to press those raw edges in. And you can see we've still got the hole. And I like to, let me just get rid of this thread. I like to start, just do along the whole bottom when I'm finishing off, so that when you look in, it looks cohesive and there's just a line across the whole bottom. You don't realize there was even ever a hole there to turn out. So the last step is just to sew this up. And here I don't use a generous 1/4 inch. I use as short of stitches, as tiny of a stitch of a seam allowance as possible, and I sew as close to the line as possible, to the edge, I mean, so that we're really closing it up. And I'm using the same blue. Well, first of all, because I'm lazy and that's what I used yesterday, and second of all, because I like that it coordinates. But you could use, you could use a red, so you wouldn't even see this. And you can see I probably could have turned out a little bit more, but that's all right. We're going to trim up our threads. And the inside is finished. Yeah, the clips, hi Nadine, the clips are awesome. These are actually mini Wonder Clips. They're great for all these little projects. The big Wonder Clips are awesome for binding. I use these mini ones even for my mini quilts, for the binding and stuff. So I love them. I'm obsessed with them. I got them in my Sew Sampler box, and now I just need to order all the clips. So, okay, so here's our bottom. Like I said, I like to go all the way across. I'm using a coordinating, like an opposite colored thread, but you could use a red so you wouldn't even see this. And then you just stuff it in. Just push it on in. And there you go. Your lining is complete. And it's kind of dark, but you can't even really, you can see tiny, tiny, tiny bit, that thread, that line in there that we created. But is anyone, you've seen that in bags that you buy at the store. So, yeah. So that's today. Here's our pouch. We've got the tabs on. It's all set. Lisa. Thank you, Maria. And Lisa, tomorrow, I think we're going to go one more step with the lining and add some interfacing in here. I'm probably going to do some fleece actually inside to give it some stability to stand up so that it'll be sturdier, because there's some, I'm sure you've seen pouches that have a little something in them that give them a little more, you know, lost the word, structure. They give them a little more structure. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. And if you have questions about this, leave them in the comments. I will get back to them. I get back to my comments. Try and comment, respond to everybody. Make sure you hit yes. Ashley, I'm going to do box corners. That's coming. We will work on box corners a couple different ways. Yes, Carrie, structure. I got it. It came to me finally. I just lost my whole train of thought. So, tomorrow we're going to add structure to this bag. Hit get notifications so you can find me, and share this to your wall so you can find it. And yeah, give me your suggestions, questions. What do you want to learn with zippers? And we will get to it. Day 3 is in the books. Thanks, guys.